part 2, chapter 25 of Don Quixote tracks down the man from the road, and here's his story. The man comes from a village known for two men who do excellent imitations of a donkey's bray. People from the surrounding villages make fun of everyone from the braying village, which has sparked a minor war. The man is bringing weapons to the battle. A puppeteer, Maestro Pedro, arrives at the inn with his monkey that can see things about the past and present and whispers his prophecies in Maestro Pedro's ear. Maestro Pedro is actually one of the galley slaves Don Quixote set free. He recognizes Don Quixote and Sancho Panza at once and falls to his knees in faux supplication. The Don asks the monkey whether what he saw in Montesino's cave was real. The monkey relates that it was both real and not real. In part 2, chapter 26, the puppet show begins. Maestro Pedro and his assistant reenact the story of how a knight freed his wife from captivity by the Moors. Don Quixote gets so wrapped up in the story that he slashes at the puppets with his sword. Don Quixote blames the destruction of Maestro Pedro's property on the enchanters who persecute him. He repays the puppeteer for all the damage. In part 2, chapter 27, Don Quixote and Sancho Panza come upon the battleground of the village famous for the donkey impressions. The Don tries to reason with the villagers, telling them there are only a few reasons for which to take up arms, and being insulted about donkey imitations isn't one of them. Sancho Panza demonstrates his own braying skills and is whacked to the ground with a long pole for his efforts. Don Quixote can't get through the crowd, now throwing rocks to help Sancho Panza, so he hops on Rocinante and leaves. The villagers set Sancho Panza on his donkey, then hang around until nightfall, but the rival villagers never show up for the battle. Cervantes was frustrated with traditional tales of chivalry because uneducated people were so prone to believe that they were true. Don Quixote, Sancho Panza, and everyone else at the inn are unable to see that, despite all logic and reason, monkeys can't really make prophecies, and come on, a human can't understand what a monkey is saying. But Don Quixote is completely unable to discern the difference between fact and fiction.